morning, everybody. This is Dawn Marie with Creative DME Designs. And this is the final product of my little golden book, Alice in Wonderland, for my friend Courtney. So let's start with the outside. Here's what the binding ended up looking like. I'm not sure. In the end, I may end up gluing that down, but I sort of like it dangling like that, but it keeps flipping up. Who knows? I ended up having to put ruffles on to make the actual book longer, to take up for some of the stuff that I have here so that things won't break off. I did color this with my Spectrum Noir markers. So this is the front of the little golden book. You guys all saw how I rebound it. So let's start. I remember I used 4 different versions of Alice in Wonderland. One was a 5-minute version, one was this little version, and then one was a very old version, and one was a newer version of the actual text. So I did put things on here to hold it shut because it is pretty buoyant. I did do my own thing here. Now, a lot of the spine on the inside was able to be seen, so I took some quotes that were very, very popular from the book and added them in here. And you'll be able to see them as I go through the signatures. And this is some of the, and if you see paper that has this look to it, this is all, again, from the shoot, sorry, brain freeze. I'll remember it. Stamperia line of Alice in Wonderland. See, that was a lupus lapse. One of the things I did is that I loved the Alice from the 5-minute book, so I made her a paper doll of Alice in Wonderland, and I made her own little hutch in here. And this is the first I did draw around there. This is a double-sided paper clip. I have the rabbit that she sees running around, and then this, oh, see, it flipped right off. Danger rabbit hole, and that just clips on the side there. You'll see if there's any black lines, I did do some drawing in this, just because I think that's fun. Are you getting that side? Yep, pretty good. I just changed the way I set this up so you can actually see, but it's deeper in my desk, just so you know. This kind of drawing is from the 5-minute book. Obviously, this is from the Little Golden. I added to the flowers, family. I just made this quick little envelope. And I used coloring pages from 2 different coloring books. There's my funny one. Oh, and that's a little vintage old. I had made jewelry out of them years and years and years ago, and this was one that I had left, so I threw it in there. Now, to me, Alice in Wonderland always had a black bow, so I did change and put black bow on all of the 5-minute ones. And this is actually a library card. Yeah, I should have put a library thing on it, but I actually like it there. This has got a little thumb tab if you want to find your Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And I did add this. And this has got, this is made with little paper sacks but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holders, plus you could 6 and 7. This is actually from the vintage version, and it's the first poem in the book. This is a double tuck, and I did that. Oh, and I think I put the, yes, this is the Walrus and the Oyster, and I did put the story right in with it, which is actually in the Through the Looking Glass, not Alice in Wonderland, but hey, the two smaller books mixed up things between the two books. I think you guys saw me make that. This is from the Semperia. My big boy Bruno must be coming upstairs. I can hear him clomping. There's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, my two favorite characters in the book. I made a little corner piece. It does come off, but it holds that back there. I made my own timepiece here, and here's the tiniest little thing to write on in there. I did add to the heart and the little package around it. Oh, I hate when they don't go back in when you need them to. There we go. This, of course, when she goes into the rabbit's house, she has to eat a cookie. So there's a cookie, and the C is for cookie. But this, and she has to get her gloves. So this is one finger of a glove that I took out and repressed and reworked and put it on there as a tag. Here's a nice, big, huge, once again, Stamperia had such beautiful things. I had a hard time putting anything on it, so this one I left blank. Are you seeing this? No, not quite. I'll tip it like this. This is a pocket made out of an envelope, so you have the back, the inside, the side. But the other thing I did, which I didn't have anything small enough, but each one of these can hold something small if you have it. And I did make each of those. In here, I also have a big envelope. You can put big things in and a little tiny book here. I did draw, hey, wait for me in tiny letters. I'm late for a very important date. I love this page. There are coloring pages for it back in here. I forgot to show you that I made it a big folio back here. I used all those weird looking stickers from that beautiful sticker book in here, and they had ladies with like flowers on them. So I had to make this page bigger, so I took 2 cards that I had that really looked like the garden and just added them as flip outs. But yeah, I really, really love this page. I just think it's it's so much fun to see. And actually there is another Walt Disney little golden book called Alice in Wonderland Finds the Garden of Live Flowers, which I would love to see what that one looks like, because it would be an addition to this one. And then here's my caterpillar page. As you can see, I added around it shrooms, yum, hookah time, smoke up Alice. They taste like chicken, because everybody says mushrooms taste like what you make them with. Bubble, hookah smoke. And then this is my little mushroom page, and I have some cards in here that have mushrooms on them that she can color. And this is my little caterpillar from one of the coloring books. And in the back, I stuck this envelope that I described on one or the other. But I took all of the mushrooms that I could find and put them there. Okay, this is I didn't show you the middle of the signature in this one. The signature on this one, I have the very first thing that Tweedledee and Tweedledum say to each other. And they always say contrary-wise, and then the longest poem is the one that about the walrus and the fisherman. And then the one on this one, sorry, I did that. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat is what the Mad Hatter says. And it's not really in this, so I put it in the binding. And I just thought that was a, obviously it's a big book. I needed to have a bigger binding in it, and I knew it when I started it. But it leaves this blank space, and I thought, well, why not put some quotes in there? This is a little flap. I put hello with a mushroom on it because technically she got that from the mushroom. So I tried to keep my little ephemera as close to where it would have been in the book as possible. And that's the tea party page where she's trying to get to it right before she sees the Cheshire Cat once again. I didn't want to mess up this page because it was so beautiful. And then this is the Cheshire Cat from the 5-minute book. And I love that it says, in this circumstance, mad means a little bit crazy rather than angry. Now I just had to, this actually, the glue is still drying. It kept falling. So I found a second one from a second book that I had, and I did put a little piece of paper clip in there to hopefully hold it up, but now I have to go back to the same book and see if I can find another piece of this green to sort of cover that up. That will be the very last thing I do before I send it out. This is a little pocket, but there's also, oh, I thought I made that a belly band. I may not have. I may have been sick of making belly bands at that point. Coloring book page. On the back of the coloring book, I put an envelope flip out, and I made it so you could put something in here, something in the back here, and then something in the side pocket. And you can see I put all those there. And we're coming up to the tea party, so I started adding tea party things. I didn't cover the back of this, but this is that 5-minute story time first page, just in case. I know Courtney has kids, so she may want to look for these 5-minute stories if she wants to look for them. So those are that. I did write on this page again, we are all mad here, and then she's like, which way? And then in the book, they're actually having a happy unbirthday party, which I mean, that's what I considered the tea party as, but now, you know, I keep hearing the tea party, but I remembered it being an unbirthday party, which it just says here, but there's more about it in the major book. I made this right here, has a ton of little tiny stickers of like cakes and cookies and teas and all that kind, you know, things that you would have at a tea party. And I found this little sticker that says, now that takes a cake, which I thought that was a perfect place to put that. And I added a bauble at the end. And that's time for a tea party. And behind here is a little postcard I made that has a tuck in it with a cupcake. Now this page, once again, it's one of the ones I didn't want to mess up because I liked it so much. And I couldn't get it to fit in here. You can actually see that I did another fold there. So I ended up refolding it. I put a tiny little fabric tuck here just so it would be bendable and it was light because this was starting to get really heavy. I did do the coloring behind that because I needed it to stick out a little, but another coloring page. This right here I made to go over this to hold, to remind that it's supposed to be on that corner to hold it back, because it does actually want to flip, because I had folded it differently the first time. But I thought that was really cute. I had the little tea party thing hanging there, and I am not very good with doing these things, even though I have the machine to do it, the big huge crocodile. But I am not good with those things. I don't know if I need to just sit and practice them for a day or what, and I really like this one. I love those vintage things where stuff like that. Write your own story. And all of these are coffee dyed. I think I already showed how to do that. I love this page too. I found this cute little Mad Hatter, and then I did draw on the page. And these are different envelopes that I used. And actually, if you really wanted to put something small, this is open too. But I just put some of my stuff in there, bubbles. And on the back of that one is this really pretty teacup one. I can't remember where that one came from, but it is a different paper. Express yourself. I came up with this. I doodled on some thick, I think they were originally rose petals I got from the Dollar Tree. They were in like a package of just rose petals like you were supposed to throw down. And they were a really strange consistency. It was like a cross between the fun foam and fabric. So I had done a whole bunch of them with doodling on them just because that seemed like what they wanted. So I broke them all up and made this little flower on this Mad Hatter. And then she got some ice cream, and I put Express Yourself because she's really expressing herself. And then I'm going to move this over so you can definitely see this one. This, I put all of my tea, vintage tea pots that I had found from all different antique journals. All of them were from before 2000, so there's no way that there would be anything on it. And this is a coloring of a Mad Hatter for her to color. A girl Mad Hatter. Mad Hatters don't have to be boys. Anybody who likes hats can be a Mad Hatter. And then this one had a teacup, and she loves tea, so I stuck some tea in the side here, but you can see I ran it over here. And then, oops, let's move it this way now. It's always tea time. I did add the sticker in there because I thought it went. And there's the Mad Hatter who's crazy. Put that in that big, huge pocket there. And let me make sure you all are still getting this. This is from a vintage thing showing, you know, what you're supposed to do at luncheons and tea parties and suppers. Etiquette guides. I love getting those old etiquette guides when I find them because you find the funniest stuff in there. Here is where I stuck the rest of the tags that all had food on them that I had. This was from the same, right here was from the same group of these things. It was from a book that I'd gotten from Ollie's that had all different kinds of, like if you were going to have a tea or a birthday party, it had like invitations and tags and all those kinds of things in it. I believe it was pretty old, like maybe 5 or 6 years old, which is probably why it was at Ollie's. So that's that. This is the pretty version of the tea time. I think she sort of looks like a zombie, but this is the one piece of vintage ephemera in here that I had to put in. And I put it on a special card, and it has a tiny little tuck spot there. And I put Alice, and I doubled her up so she looks like she's a two-sided person. She doesn't know which way to walk. Tea party, I had add these, and because it's coming down to the Queen, this sort of gives you the idea that the Queen is coming, and you can slide things underneath both of those. I didn't mean that to happen, but guess what? It did. And I did add like the little things coming out of here, and they sort of stick out. And just in case you wanted to get to the T real fast, I put T right there. So now we're down to the playing croquet with the flamingos, and I loved the version in the 5-minute. I put the croquet ball as a little pom-pom. I ripped apart a paper clip, and then here is the queen with her. I had cut half of her head off to get this page and to be able to keep the Mad Hatter from the other page. So I found it in the other book, and no, in the same book, but on a different page. They met a countess or something, but she looked the same as the queen. So I just cut her head out, and the size was a little different, so I couldn't match up the neck. So I just made her have 2 fringes, and I think it looks okay. It doesn't look like it's... I know the difference between the head of the original queen and this one. I don't think anybody else will figure it out. Once again, there's that page. I really didn't do anything to that page because I had so much of the extra to go in with it. This is the tag. And then my little cute little thing there, and I did make a paper clip with the same ribbon I used throughout to hold all of that in. Let's see. And I made this a little tuck spot, and I just liked this side panel a lot. In fact, I used it over here for this paper clip. So this paper clip holds, that's the queen on this side, and then I just threw a bunch of the cards that came from, which version? Oh, the 5-minute version, but these were from the cover. I threw those on the other side like they were in a mess. And then I love the dodo in the book. He's not in there much, but I put Mr. Dodo on the bottom of this one, and she still has places she can write on that. And in this tag, I also have, you're all just a pack of cards, which is something Alice's yells. And this is put on a pretty big playing card. I did use the Joker so I can use the other playing cards in other things coming up. And I loved that paper, by the way. I wish I could find more of it. And this was one of the Stamperia cards that came in the set. I did find a way to add something to it because I felt I needed to, but this is a postcard, and again, I couldn't add to the back. From coloring book, Off with Their Heads, because that's what the queen is saying. With this on the front, I'll put that on so you can see the cards actually end up on the back of this one, and it says, I'm glad to be back in things. I really didn't do much on this side, but you can see her flowers are here, and you can see the hookah there. And she thought it was a very strange sleep indeed. I liked how this one ended. This is the 5-minute one. So, and as you can see, again, I made the black headband. And then She Dreams Big. I found that as a sticker, and I thought that was cute. So I put it on as a little swipey thing here, whether she can stick something behind it if she wants or not. So the back here, obviously you can see that the back is done. I already stamped it. I always put these on my books, but I do have this Alice junk journal is specially made for Courtney Tuca from the LGB swap in her MLS crafty group. I didn't want to have to write all of those things out. She'll know what they mean. I've wanted to make a journal out of a kid's book for a long time. It couldn't have gone to a better person. Enjoy this small piece of my artistic journey, DME, creative DME designs, and I'll stick one of my cards in here. So this, obviously, the next part of Alice in Wonderland is Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found. There's two more parts to it. So what I did here is I made this like a continuation page, and I added all of the vintage mirrors that I found in the antique books. I found a little Alice dress in a I think it's a Japanese washi book that somebody had sent me a long, long time ago. In fact, I found it like right at the end, and I was like, oh, look, it's an Alice dress. We got to put that on there. And she becomes queen then, so I put a, I put the crown there. And I did write Anne next here, and she always has her cat, and I think this was supposed to be Alice in Wonderland. I think it's, if you were to find an old copy of a book, that's actually in there. And I love this mirror with the timepiece in it, and then I did this in the back, and I made some fringies there. And I really didn't do much to the actual book covers, just so that you could see the cover. Once again, I did glue these down and I put gold on, but they seem to be coming up. I'm going to have to probably try to glue them down again. And yes, I did use the proper kind of glue for that. Actually, they're sticking a little bit. Oh well, we'll figure that out. But there it is, my Alice in Wonderland, a little golden book journal for my friend Courtney. And now that it's on video, it's going to be sent off to her. And I can't wait for her to see it. And I'm glad that you're watching it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I love doing individualized books for certain specific people. That is really where my heart is on doing junk journals. And just about any concept I can make a junk journal on. I was just trying to think of a new one last night, and it made me take a little while longer to go to sleep because it was bouncing around in my head. But so once again, this is my Alice in Wonderland, a little golden book junk journal for my friend Courtney. And I hope you guys all have an exciting day. Thanks. Bye.